Now, the R stands for role, okay? Now, your role is going to change almost from practice to practice, game to game, season to season, as you grow and learn and get better. And there was a guy, you guys know Doug Collins? Does that name ring a bell? He played for the Sixers back in the day. There you go. And is obviously a great coach. His son was a great player at Duke and coaches at Northwestern. His mantra was, know your role, stay in your role, star in your role, okay? But again, as you grow and improve and get better, guess what? Your role is going to change. But there's one role that will always be paramount for you guys, and that role is being a great teammate. Kemba Walker. Great. Now, who's he playing for this upcoming season now?
He's playing for the Celtics.
There you go. Why is Kemba Walker a great teammate?
Because he doesn't argue with the refs and he always helps his teammates out to get better.
Awesome. Never argues with the refs, always helps his teammates to get better. Perfect example. Improvement, okay? Improvement. Do you guys, Coach talked about having the 3 goals. What goals do you have for this week? One of my favorite people in the NBA, you guys familiar with the Denver Nuggets?
Oh yeah, I know.
You know the Nuggets, right? Notice next season when you watch Michael Malone as their head coach, frequently when the opposition is making a run on the Nuggets, Michael Malone will call a timeout. And from his body language, he walks out to the center of the court like this. Now, you would never know if there wasn't a ticker at the bottom of the screen whether Denver was winning or losing by his body language. And how do you think that affects his players when they're struggling, but the coach calls a timeout and he's in other words, his nonverbal communication is like, hey, I've got you. I'm behind you guys. I'm with you guys. We're going to turn this around. So be very cognizant of what you say to your teammates is important, but also what you don't say in your body language. No, you want to be a teammate that's fully invested and engaged and is very supportive of that improvement. When we talk about improvement, you guys have such a great opportunity here collectively with Coach Rulo and his staff and players. You know, take advantage of that in the best sense of the word. You know, ask them, Coach, where's my game strong right now? Where do you see me developing and getting better and improving? And when I was in college and high school, every night I would write, what did I do today to get better? And I'd list, defensive slides. I did 100 of those. And I did the Mikan drill, and I did, my jump shots. All those little things. And then there were some nights I would look and be like, all right, this sheet is blank. I really didn't do anything today to get better. But this is just a great opportunity to ask these guys about, hey, where do you see me? How can I get better? And take that back with you, beyond having a great time this week. Now I want to talk about the S, about seeing things, because before you can improve, you've got to visualize it, right? You've got to be able to see it happening. Let me ask you guys a question. How many free throws in a row would you say is a lot of free throws to make without missing? Shout them out. 20. 40. 30. How many? 50. 95. Okay, we'll stop there. I had a friend who made 2,750 free throws in a row. His name was Dr. Tom Amberry. He was a college player at North Dakota, and he made these free throws at the age of 71 years old at a health club in Seal Beach, California. And he said, and he claimed, that he would have made more, but they kicked him out of the gym for a men's league, okay? So Dr. Tom had a great quote, and I believe it to be a great quote. He said, "We're limited more by our beliefs than by our ability." And the E to me is to be engaged and to be inclusive. Wherever you're at school, you're at camp, if you see somebody who is maybe eating on their own, or you get that visceral feeling, you can just tell that maybe they're here without their buddies and this is kind of new terrain for them. I would just encourage you to reach out and bring them into your group, because everyone's uniqueness, the diversity, the fact that they look different than you, they have different interests, they're from a different neighborhood. All of the teams I've been on, the strength of those teams comes totally from the unique character, heart, desire, and individual experience that everyone brings to the table. And you've got to embrace that. When was the last time you were like the new kid and you came into that scenario? And I'll share with you one of my recent experiences. I live in Los Angeles, and in addition to some basketball stuff, I do some acting as well. So I was fortunate enough to land a one-episode role on the TV show SWAT. Has anybody ever seen that show? SWAT is the name of it? Okay. So I go to the shoot, and I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. So I get on set at Venice Beach, California. It's another great California day. And I'm a little nervous because I'm like the new guy, right? So literally, as soon as I arrived on set, it was like bro hug time. Now, I treat a TV set or a movie set or music video, I was in an A$AP Rocky video, I treat that similar to a locker room and practice, kind of like sacred and holy ground, right? Between you and your coach and your teammates. But I can say this about that experience, that as soon as I was on set at SWAT, guys like Shamar Moore and Kenny Johnson, it was like bro hug time. How do you think that made me feel that day? Right, so the people are nicer to you, so all of a sudden you feel like, all right, I'm at home, I'm part of the team. And then how do you think that affects someone's performance? You do better, exactly. You can't help but do better because you kind of know that you're in a good environment. There's a healthy culture. When you're part of your team this week, you have the opportunity to really define like what that culture is. And then when I watch the Miami Heat, I always think about that. And I think, are they living up to their mantra? And you guys have that same opportunity. Are we matching who we say we are?